Y'all know what I hate? Fucking intro to this video. Y'all know what I hate? I hate the fact that everything in life is pre-prepared. Like, take for instance, I'm in this shopping place, right? Looking at new clothes and everything. And then I notice that it's a whole bunch of human prison bars or whatever you want to call these people. Like, I mean, it's a whole bunch of them inside of here. And I'm saying to myself, why is it that I have to be buying the same kind of clothes that they are buying? And then I thought about it, and something said to me, left side of the brain, the reason why that is, you already know the answer. And then the spirit, it led me back to the 6 laws that governs the human prison bar system. And one of those laws is the law of dependency, which means we don't make clothes, so we have to depend upon somebody else's ideas of fashion and clothes in order for us to have something to wear. Like take clothes for instance. Whatever the fashion designers come up with, that's what you have to wear. Like these pants and everything. Like, if someone didn't design these pants right here, then what would you wear? You have to come into their shopping centers to buy what some designer created. And it goes all the way back to the law of dependency. It's like, you don't know how to make clothes, right? So you do some other, you have some other skill, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have some other skill besides making clothes. And because of that, you have to depend upon someone else to make clothes for you, while you may be a plumber or a mechanic or something, and somebody else may have to depend upon your mechanical skills because you wasn't interested or given the gift of being a fashion designer, or for whatever reason. And you ended up in a situation where you are dependent upon them for wanting to wear clothes. Like, if you got some old shoes and you want some new Nikes or whatever, you got to depend upon the next designer who creates a new design. Do y'all get what I'm saying? It's like, I hate that in a way, because at the same time, you are forced, I'm just panning around. You are forced to be around these people. These people don't know the type of information we know, but at the same time, we forced to like dress like them. You get what I'm saying? And that's why it was better when the world was in a way when you had like primitive tribes and they created their own designs. Like, y'all don't even think about it, but how styles came about in the first place, it came about through trial and error. When you go all the way back to like primitive societies, and they would put paint on their faces and whatnot, nobody controlled how they painted their faces. It just happened over time. Maybe a woman and a man was out playing in the fields, and they realized that berries, if you crush a berry, it'll turn into dye, and you can put it on your hands. I mean, on your hands, and smear it on your face. You can smear the berry juice on your face, and then the berry juice creates a beautiful color. And then they learn how to just make patterns out of colors and everything. They didn't have no formula to go by. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, how we live today, we don't create our own fashion. Like back then, they would just say if a man killed an animal or something, he would just make his own apparel. He wasn't dependent upon somebody else. He didn't go shopping for it. He wasn't wearing the idea of somebody else upon his body. You get what I'm saying? So that means everything we wear, we wearing somebody else's idea on our body. And I thought about that. I was like, I'm not saying that people got cool ideas, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever created that shirt, it says I'm watching you. Maybe one of you can figure out the synchronicity. I mean, you know what? Somebody in here watching me do this. Trust me, they watching me. That was a synchronicity because they always watching you. And I'm trust and believe somebody is thinking about me right now. They saying, who is this guy with this camera walking around? But as I was saying, what was I saying? Not saying that these people don't make like beautiful designs or whatever, but in the same token, it's really mind control. That's how they mind control us, because they create the styles. And because they create the styles, they have you thinking this is in style or this is not in style. This is in season and this is not in season. Notice how, like, the 60s people dress differently than the 70s. The 70s people dress differently than the 80s. The 80s people dress differently than the 90s. And it all keeps like, but it always go back to the same thing. Like those retro styles, they'll come back in style. It's kind of like the seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like winter, spring, summer, and fall. But then it'll come all the way back around. That is what I just explained. You can apply the law of exceedings to that, which says that nothing in what we do exceeds beyond nature. So as you see, I just applied the law of exceedings because everything's in full circle, like the seasons, just like the fashion design. So, you know, I was thinking about that. Like, these people really control us, man, in so many subliminal ways, even down to a shirt. Like, down to a shirt. Like, somebody made the shirt, right? I like it. It's cool and everything. It's cool. But it's somebody else's design. What if somebody didn't decide to make that shirt be the style? And you know, in this world, everybody is a copycat. So one style leads to another person mimicking what someone else made. And then we just end up all looking the same. And it also has to do with that uniformity. They want everybody to be in uniform. They want everybody to think alike. They want everybody to dress alike. They want everybody to have a certain style, because they need to control what we wear. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't have the element of making you feel like an outcast. Because if you don't have the latest trends, you remember in high school how it was when you didn't have the latest fashion, people would pick on you. So that's why they need an element of fashion design as another way to force us who don't want to be a part of the system to have a reason to want to be a part of the system. Because again, women like you to dress a certain way. They like you to have on certain types of clothes, so they can use that as another way to make a person who is not into that type of stuff look down upon themselves. So somebody can look at them and say, look at those Bobo sneakers you got on. Like me, I just got some comfortable shoes on. But just remember, like, back in the day when you didn't have name brand shoes on, someone would say like, oh, you wearing Bobos. So Bobos basically meant you not wearing what the fashion designers deemed in style. So if you're not in style, you out of style. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's like, it's an element of trying to make you sell out to be amongst them. So then you finally get the clothes, but that's not enough. The selling out process never stops. You get the clothes, that ain't enough. Now you got to sell out some more. You got to listen to the same music they listen to. That still ain't enough. Eventually, you got to accept homosexuality. You got to accept everything until you just lose everything. You get what I'm saying? You have to accept everything till ultimately you lose everything. And what I mean by lose everything is they want you to lose all morality. They want you to lose all your connection to the spirit of what is right. They just want you to lose everything and be just like one of them. That's what this thing all boils down to. But yeah, I just wanted to break that down to y'all. It just came to me. Like, tell me what y'all think, man, in the comment section. You know who it is. LSOTB, left side of the brain. You know, tell me what y'all think in the comment section. And for those who haven't subscribed, go ahead and add us. Hit that subscribe button, and also add us on Instagram at left side of the brain 2 on Instagram. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me hear what y'all think in the comment section. We out. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to add too, right? Notice how when you be shopping and everybody just be walking around like they in a trance. I even catch myself doing it sometimes. Like, you would just be walking through the aisles like I'm doing. Like, you don't even know what to decide. You're just walking around. You just be walking around in a trance like this. I noticed I was looking at people and you know how they just be walking around. They're not really looking for nothing. Like, sometimes you'll come into these stores, you don't even know what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? They just be walking around. Most times daydreaming, just walking around like you in a trance. I would put a camera on some people to show you, but I don't want them to get too suspicious of me. But yeah, that's how it be, man. You just be walking around. You know what I'm saying? Just be walking around in a trance. That shit is whack, man. And it be the little things like that that we don't really realize, man. It be those little things like that that we don't even realize, man. Like, but it be those little things you don't realize that keeps you trapped. You know what I'm saying? You are trapped. You are trapped by what you don't realize. What you realize, you have already realized. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you trying to break out of a maze, if you realize one way to get out of the maze, but don't realize that you're still trapped until you get to the end of the hallway, then that's what's holding you back. What you don't realize is what's holding you back. So it's the subliminal things that they attack us with that keeps us down, man. What you don't see is what's really holding you down, like gravity. You don't see it. The real shit, the stuff they tell you, you already figured that out. It's the things like that I say on this channel that's really holding you back. That's why it's called the secret wars. They don't tell you the secrets. It's the secret stuff that holds you back. Not what you already realize. The things that you don't realize. The subliminals, man. And that's why when I figure this stuff out, I'll be like, I got to do a video. I need to tell someone this. You see what I'm saying? Like, all the while before I had a revelation, I was entrapped. But when I got the revelation, I can no longer be trapped inside of walking around through a shopping area just like a zombie. I notice how people walk around in circles through the clothing aisles looking like zombies. So now, next time I'm in a store, I'm aware that I'm not walking around like a zombie, because I realize that's what people do. So I can no longer be like one of them. That's another separation created. I broke another chain. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Breaking these chains and freeing ourselves. Through what? Through just quieting down, humbling yourself, and listening to the spirit. This right here, this video is from the spirit. So even by you just tuning into this, you haven't even seen me before. But what I'm telling you is divine information. Take it. Truth don't belong to any of us. It's just like me scooping a cup of water out of the ocean. Well, you can't drink ocean water. It's like me scooping a cup of water out of a freshwater lake. I don't own the lake. I'm just giving you something out of the pool of wisdom and knowledge. That's it. Take the cup, apply it to your life. That's it. Hope y'all got some out of it. This left side of the brain signing out.